I'm
Gotta
telling
be,
you, I'm liking the Mirana.
yeah. Well, you got to be careful with the Monkey King against the Beastmaster as well, right? It's
Hmm.
not. It's not like this is. I don't think there's anything that automatically makes this a free Monkey King game. I
10
mean, maybe
seconds
you can
remaining.
lane a mid against the Ember if you want, but
5 seconds remaining.
That's a lot to be committing to the
yeah.
fact that, you're assuming it's Ember mid. It could still be a Zephyr Ember. They play it.
Radiant team pick.
And here comes the Venomancer.
Yeah, this is much more likely to be a Carl Veno, you would assume, and a Zephyr Ember Spirit.
Well, Voodoo Restoration is countered. Say goodbye.
They're not going to be laning into each other, Kip. Come on.
Um,
But that's a decent amount of healing, though. Voodoo Resto, of
10
course, Jingu
seconds
Mastery.
remaining.
yeah. Well, even just the again, they've got this insane vision game going on with the Plague Wards and the Hawks. They're just gonna have. They've got a ridiculous amount of damage across all of their like cores so far. Boom, gonna go for the Spectre.
They're playing scared, or they're drafting scared. It feels like, right?
Yeah.
So now at least they get the last ban to be able to take away some of the stronger counters to the Spectre, but really, I feel like Venomancer is a decent
10
matchup
seconds
against
Yeah.
Spectre.
Well, and it's also like, what is the Monkey King doing in your
5
draft
seconds
now?
remaining.
What is he going to be for? What are you doing with him? Like you've already kind of taken away any kind of option for him to go safe. So I think they're really, maybe they were really trying to force the Monkey King versus the Ember on the mid lane, but like you're saying, GeekFam can just as easily just put Ember as a position 4. All of a sudden, Venomancer goes mid, and then what kind of game does Monkey King have?
Yeah, Monkey King's not great. Damage over time is pretty good against a Spectre. Stops a lot of the Witch Doctor influence as well. I know it's not done, the draft, but I'm nearly ready to say this is GeekFam's to lose.
Yeah, I'm ready liking what GeekFam have going quite a lot, and they've got the last pick. Yeah, this is reminiscent of what we saw from Boom in the Fnatic series, where we were liking their draft even before they got their last overall pick, and then the last pick just kind of clinching things a little bit. So Dazzle is the ban, just not wanting to get cheesed or anything.
I don't think it's a cheese draft though, and you already had the Veno to,
Yeah.
hinder a lot of his influence. So don't know if that was the one. Maybe they are still trying to potentially put the Ember Spirit
10 seconds remaining.
mid, and they just didn't want that direct counter into it, or
5 seconds
Yeah,
I don't know.
remaining.
No. Or they're thinking, all right, Monkey King is going
Radiant team pick.
mid, but maybe we want to safe lane our Ember or something. So we don't want to play against the Dazzle in the off lane potentially. But
I'm liking the Necro ban though, coming
Yeah.
through from Boom.
yeah, it seems pretty sensible. Would give GeekFam a ton more sustain. GeekFam don't have the most ridiculous scaling currently, so I do think there's an angle here for Boom to win, but like you were saying, it's just it feels like the game is very much going to be in GeekFam's hands, and if they make a bunch of mistakes, then sure, Spectre's going to punish you for it, but
Dire team pick.
beyond that, not sure. And yeah, Boom just like what is this Omni
New
Knight
hero
pick?
PogChamp?
What is this? I guess it's like, okay, now we have a way to deal with like a roar or a chains and try and keep our Monkey King and Spectre alive, but it's just such a do nothing hero. Like
10 seconds
the
remaining.
Monkey King and I guess the supports are the only playmakers that they have, and I still don't even
remaining.
feel like this is that good of a Monkey King game. So who is going to do anything for them?
I mean, it could even just come down to the fact that GeekFam have targeted a lot of their bans towards FBZ, right? They took out the
Yep.
Beastmaster by picking it. They took out the Batrider. They took out the Tide with that second phase, and even the Dazzle there was positioning towards a potential position 3. So, not to say that he's got a shallow hero pool, but certainly punishing him up.
Maybe this, who knows? Maybe like maybe the Ember laning is going to be the downfall of GeekFam a little bit. It does feel like at least Boom should be able to win whichever lane the Ember is in. But other than that, I'm not so sure. GeekFam, what do they go for here? Just Morphling to wrap
Choose
it
your
up.
hero.
Okay. So gives them kind of an insurance policy, even if the early to mid game they start to run out of steam, just a bit.
I'm giving this to GeekFam, and it's a decent looking set for Morphling. All right, let's go.
No more silly hats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is Zephyr for Carl Vino.
Yeah. So oh my god, did they have to send Monkey King mid against Venomancer? Ugh. Okay, so I think here's the only way that this works. It's if Hyde just destroys the mid lane, right? Like Venomancer is very gankable. I think Hyde just needs to like get level 2, and then he just needs to run it mid, nonstop, and they need to kill Carl anytime he shows in the lane. I think that is the only way that this kind of works for them.
And maybe Makoto, we've seen that he's on today, right, with his his TA game coming up against Fnatic, but I think he needs to get like basically every single creep in the first 2 waves for him to have a chance.
Yeah.
Because Veno don't have the strongest right-click damage.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the Monkey King still getting some okay farm and then just being able to run around the map, but so much of this game just hinges on the Monkey King's mid game. Like if Monkey King is not running around and getting kills, then again there's no playmaking on their lineup. So we'll just have to see.
We will indeed. I'm feeling GeekFam though.
Oh, okay, we've got your prediction locked in, Danog. If I had the technology, I would put it up on screen for you. But
do it.
I'll just put the logo. I'll put your face, and then I'll put the logo underneath it. And we'll be set.
Just let me know if you need me to send you any like mug shots, just to nice. With a happy face or something like that.
All right. So again, actually, boom! They're making plays. They want to be in control of their own destiny here, so they're going to come charging out as 5 heroes and looking for a first blood, perhaps. Zephyr already kind of on the intercept here. Monkey King on the front lines. They are going to even go for the shards and for the Boundless Strike just to get this kill. They are going to get it. It's only on Kezcube, but is this the play?
What, like ruining your laning stage just to get a catch onto the position?
Is this not ruining your laning stage? I guess the Monkey King Boundless Strike is fine, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know about Ice Shards on Tusk. Yeah. That feels pretty lane ruining.
What, because now you're not going to have that potential as well to as easily rotate towards that mid lane, right? You would want the snowball and the tag team, preferably.
Yeah, well, I think the shards can work as well. Shards tag team, but also you're laning up against the Morphling, so I think you really want to just go run at him at level 1. We have a big battle breaking out. Zephyr just gonna try and run for it. Cuckoo's still pretty tanky. Hyde just gonna go and grab the bounty. It does seem like it's gonna be 3 for Boom. Pretty nice for them. Kezcube losing a lot of HP here. But I think he should
they took out the boar as well, though, so a little bit of extra experience. I think Dreamer still got the last hit.
But I really think you want to pressure the Morphling right out of the gate. Like, I think you just want to block the wave pretty heavily, and then just try and tag team him, force him to morph a little bit. If Raven just gets to free farm here versus the Omni Knight, eventually he is just going to destroy this man in CS. Anyway, let's check out the mid lane a little bit. What is Carl doing? He's just got the point in the Poison Sting to start, summoning up some bananas, having a fun time.
Alright. Got all the creeps in the first wave. Nicely done by Makoto. Some denies coming through too.
Dragging and blocking. Always a very nice play as the position 4. Just needs to leave the range creep in there for a second. Nice. Keeping the aggro going uphill. What's happening up top? Wave's already pushing back, so did get it to bounce off the tower a little bit, which is going to be nice. Hyde, what is he doing? So he's going to go over and try and intercept this pull, but that does mean he's not taking any experience to try and get his level 2. Though it's worth it if he can just keep the wave under the tower, or keep it pretty far up in the lane instead of letting it get dragged all the way back to the tier 1. So I like this play, but I think he's got to grab 2.
Makoto's done really well for himself in mid lane.
Yeah.
8 last hits, 4 denies. Hasn't taken up too much harass. He's still got the remaining shared tango, having only used 1 so far, so pretty impressive.
Yeah, and the Spectre seems to be doing quite well down at bottom. I mean, what is the... Like I said, it feels like whatever lane the Ember ended up going to was just going to be a win for Boom. Zephyr's doing his best to, use these dragged creeps to deny a couple of waves and securing Cuckoo's game that way, but he's never really going to go and play the lane directly on this Ember. And Makoto getting some good denies going to mid. 7 denies to his name here, so maybe this matchup actually not so bad for the Monkey King. I think it's going to get harder, but for now, seems to be going all right. And across the board, Boom farming quite nicely.
Yeah, I mean, he's got an extra 11 damage, right, at this level, so you're always going to be able to take that favorable trade, and he's just been able to position himself well enough that he's not taking harass all the while.
Yeah, I guess the little bit of extra attack range kind of helping out with the Monkey King compared to sort of your traditional melee hero versus the Venomancer. And he's got aggro tricks as well, constantly dragging off like the 1 creep just to CS it, so making it harder for Carl with the low attack range to really do all that much. Zephyr is looking to drag another wave, it looks like, here. And he's actually rotating over to mid. He's got the point in the chains. Could get the slight. Makoto taking some damage here. Has already been galed up, so... Oh, he really wants to salve, but... Ooh, is Zephyr going to see this and somehow interrupt it? They see the salve coming, but won't be able to do anything about it.
I think they were waiting for the Venomous Gale. Here we go. They're going to make the play.
Yeah, looking for it. Gale comes out. It is level 2. Zephyr waiting here. Yeah, he's got the slight chains, but Makoto pretty tanky and still has the Fairy Fire, so they're just going to let him go for now. Does opt to use the Boundless Strike just to get those Jingu stacks up, but... I don't know. Is he actually going to get to hit anything? I guess the creep wave's pushing now.
Well,
there's another Gale. TP coming in from the Tusk. Ooh, gonna block in Zephyr. Takes to the trees, and that is going to be a quick kill for Makoto. Alright, nice.
Oh, nice. Nice fortification there, blocking the Boundless Strike from cleaning up the rest of the wave.
But still, Boom, all 3 lanes doing pretty well on CS. Cuckoo getting chased out of bottom currently. And FBZ actually doing alright up top. Raven about to crack level 4. Zephyr rotating up here now. And in terms of the... I feel like the Monkey and the Ember both ended up being slightly awkward picks towards the middle of the draft, but the Monkey King is not looking awkward at all currently for Boom.
They found him again.
Fine. Yeah. This is what Hyde's been hoping for this whole time, and nowhere for this Venomancer to go. Looks like they're just going to try and give this kill over to Makoto. Gets the healing going with the Boundless Strike, and he is right as rain.
Even pushing the wave all the way into this tower, so Makoto is either going to be able to rotate back towards the jungle or contest one of these bounty runes, perhaps.
I'm a little bit off on the timing here. I'm going to take quite a lot of damage from FBZ. Raven comes over, but only so much that he can really do.
Zephyr's only level 2.
Yeah, Zephyr looking kind of dead here. And that is now a killing spree for Makoto. Alright.
It's another one of these games.
Do you still want the prediction on the screen, Danog? Should I,
You know what? I'm going to commit. I'm going to commit to it.
Alright.
Let's see how this top lane goes as well, because I feel like Raven, he's still having an alright time up here.
Yep.
He's reached his level 5, so now White doesn't really have to stay quite as much.
Looking for more. Snowball in at bottom. Cuckoo going to be the target. Zephyr coming over, trying to see what he can see, but alright, this time around Hyde will be the one snagging the kill. Got the phase boots for this Monkey King. And yeah, this Tusk is just everywhere.
Well, making a lot of work happen. Whitemine started channeling the TP2 towards that bottom side, but didn't commit with it, so he's stuck a little bit immobile for at least the next minute or so.
Another go on the Venomancer at mid. Makoto's got the stacks. Can they get any kind of a turnaround? Boundless Strike out. Makoto kind of low. Cuckoo TPing in, trying to get the turnaround kill. He does get the board. Slow down. Fairy Fire coming out. Makoto just wants to take to the trees if he can do it. He manages to snag the illusion, but Zephyr just cleans up the whole stack with his light. And now Hyde in trouble. GeekFam finding the turnaround.
All right. Exactly what they wanted. Dreamer Sully's pushed the wave into the tower, so nicely done. And the fact that Whitemon's not going to be able to TP down to soak up this experience and keep it pushed back, it's a decent win coming through for Boom, regardless of those 2 deaths.
Yeah, for sure. That's classic Venomancer gameplay there, right? The Veno dies, but the team comes in and just cleans up everybody that was actually going for the gank. Another TP coming in from the Tusk. Do they have any intel on this? They've sent a Hawk over to mid, but I do not believe they have spotted Tusk just yet. And
You missed the Gale.
Poison Nova coming out. Cuckoo running forward with the Roar available. Makoto couldn't get the Boundless Strike out. So it's just a game of who's baiting who on the mid lane. And this time around, it's going to be GeekFam bringing the numbers, keeping the Beastmaster lurking around in the area, and now keeping the pressure going with a fairly big creep wave.
Oh, they're going to scout out Kescute here with the Hawk.
Oh, is Hyde dead? Whitemon chasing after him. Alright, Paralyzing Cast is going to do its job. Nice.
Only putting the 1 point into the cask right now, so not able to hold him in place, but I'm sure the Voodoo Restro is going to give him some value.
Oh, FBZ rotated mid. Actually TP'd in. So, alright, well that's some free space for Raven. Up at top, has made his decision already in terms of the build. Just going to go kind of into the shotgun. Picking up a couple of small items along the way. Has the Morbid Mask, going to be going for the Yasha too. But just lots of farming coming up for him. And Dreamer Cell, very similar to what we saw in the previous game. Gets this super fast Necro and starts farming up everywhere.
Ace Trune on Carl here. He's nearly hit up onto his level 7, so might be just waiting for that for any sort of plays to happen. This would be super next level, but do you think he deliberately missed the Gale so that they might try and make an aggressive move onto him in mid?
I don't know. Maybe you need to go back and look at the replay and watch player perspective, I think, to decide if he actually missed it intentionally. That would be a very next level play. So slight lead in favor of Boom, still just kind of across the board. Oh my god, Zephyr is going Meteor Hammer on this this Ember. I mean, I have seen this before. You can start the Meteor Hammer channeling while you're in Slight, so you can Slight chain somebody and then get the Meteor Hammer follow up. It's a bit memey, but I guess that's what they're planning for here.
The next level play, you know?
Exactly.
Well, even Cuckoo here, he's farming pretty aggressively. You've got 3 heroes down here on the bottom side of the map, so having to be a little bit careful, but you've always got Zephyr to back you up. He's maxing out that Searing Chains, of course, just to get that initial burst off, but well, he's going to have to back off with Makoto having moved down here. And Dreamer Cell, he's got a few different farming patterns from Raven, it has to be said. You know, Raven tends to be basically where no one else on his team is, and he's acquiring the center of the map, making it a bit easier for his team to connect through to him, perhaps indicating that Boom's going to make a few more aggressive plays.
Yeah, I think it's nicer for the Spectre to be sitting here against the potential Venomancer pressure. He can very easily just nuke out the wave, let the Necrobook do it, and then continue farming camps kind of on both sides. This is probably the most farm-dense place for him to be on the map currently. Got a lot of heroes just across the map trying to soak up some more levels, get their level 6s going. Whitemon at top does manage to make it away from the Monkey King rotation, and Zephyr still just farming his Meteor Hammer down here. So we're in kind of full economy mode for both teams.
Doing an alright job pushing this top wave in, though. You've got the siege creep coming through here. Makoto hanging back behind the towers, although making it a little bit obvious that he's around.
Yeah, Courier flying in there. Oh, Carl gonna get gone on again at mid. Can they find some kind of a turnaround? He does have the Poison Nova, but big damage coming in from Hyde. He's gonna drop it on top of Dreamacell, but he should be just fine. He's got his Royal Jelly as well. So Veno dead, and just gonna end up being a 1-for-1 tower trade, it looks like. Dire missing the CS. Makoto should be able to grab the top one, we'll see.
1-for-1, or could it be a 2-for-1? They've still got the siege creep available, and all 4 heroes on Boom are gathered around this mid lane.
Oh, Whitemon trying to nuke it out, but the siege creep still surviving. Cuckoo gonna try and go over and deal with it, but Dreamistel still going to work. They do pop the glyph. Zephyr coming over. Slight chains available. Does have the maxed out chains now. So it does get the double slight. Pretty nice. Basskip going to work with that 1 point in the Voodoo Restoration. High jumping forward onto Whitemon. Do they have enough damage to finish off this kill? Seems like they might not. A couple more auto attacks from Carl gonna do it. And the chase continues actually. Zephyr getting the locked in onto Basskip.
The purification onto Hyde, which I thought was really questionable by FPZ, would have been able to clean up that kill and perhaps even enable the Tusk to survive, but instead losing 2 in the process.
Yeah, not the best. Raven kind of checking out what's going on down here while also waiting for these Ancients to spawn up. FPZ at mid just getting run down. Haunt's going to come in looking for a little bit of a turnaround. He's got the heal in 2 seconds. Cuckoo extremely slow. Makoto also coming in for the intercept. They're going to try and get this Satyr Tormentor if they can, but I think it's out of there.
I mean, that's the thing. I like the way that he's building. Obviously going up into the pipe, preventing a lot of this magic damage that's going to be the burst that GeekFam have.
Whitemon's looking very dead. Yeah, just going to leave it for Makoto. Get towards that Echo Saber a little bit faster. Spec just farming. Basskip dead over on this side. Raven just cleaning him up. A little bit of help from Zephyr. Still 1 component away from the Meteor Hammer.
Because that's the thing, right? You have Basskip. You have Cuckoo, who was in that mid-fight, and he clearly wanted to get a Primal Roar onto those people that were pushing the tower, but you've got Omni Knight standing right there, who can just use the Heavenly Grace to strong dispel it.
Yep.
But the way that he's built, you're probably not going to be able to burst down this Omni Knight during that Roar just on its own. You know, he already had the Cloak, so a bit less damage, he's got the Power Treads, he's got the Soul Rings, so plenty of HP. And you've even got the rest of your team backing you up with the Snowball and, of course, the high ultra value of the Voodoo Restoration, being able to make sure he lives.
And he is, yeah, he's very tanky at this point. 1600 HP on Strength Treads. He's going to have the Hood before too long. They are making a rotation here, but the Roar not going to last very long. Raven jumping forward with the auto attacks. Can they catch a little more? Zephyr, unfortunately, gets the slight chains onto the creeps and not Makoto, so he will be able to hop away.
Yeah, so those are the sorts of rotations that they need to make. They need to be aggressive into the other side of the map, and they need to take out FBZ when he's on his own. Because
forward looking for a little more, but shy on the mana for Zephyr.
It's pretty rare that you're going to see Boom moving forward with just FBZ, or like he's not playing a Beastmaster style hero where he has the capabilities to do that. He's always going to have his supports backing him up if he's playing it correctly.
And again, the catch just kind of lacking, right? Doom game 1, Omni Knight game 2. Boom not really having the tools to force things all that much, and it will kind of continue to be, even though GeekFam are behind on the kills currently, it does still feel like they're the ones choosing where the plays happen. Hyde is going for a mech here on his Tusk, which I'm a little surprised at, honestly. I thought he might just pick up like some phase boots and whatnot and kind of go from there. And we do have this Echo Saber on the Monkey King, but again, kind of catch issues, so only so much that Makoto is able to do. Are you at all surprised to see the mech? I thought like phase blink for sure, but different approach.
I think it's okay to go that sort of style. I don't know. I feel like it's a little, not greedy, but perhaps a bit slow for what they're trying to go.
Oh, Makoto, gotta be careful. Raven had the Iron Talon cooling down, and those Wild Axes for Cuckoo also looking for him. Looks like he will be able to cut this next wave. Actually just gonna come TPing back, but TPing back into some vision, perhaps. Whitemon getting gone on a little bit. He does get the Jingu stacks going. Cuckoo running over. The Roar is available. Whitemon almost getting cleaned up, but should be okay. Basskip and FBZ actually smoked currently. And up top, Dreamistel just farming against Zephyr, who really wants to finish off his meme hammer. Show me the memes. Raven, gotta be careful. Alright, just gonna try and go for Cuckoo instead. Haunt coming through. Dreamistel doesn't quite have the Radiance just yet, but seems like Cuckoo just gonna get cleaned up by the Death Ward. Can they get a little more? Looking towards Zephyr. He's got the Remnant out, just gonna go for the bounty. And Raven straight back to farming.
Value. I mean, well, you lost your Beastmaster, but Death Ward expanded.
Yeah.
Haunt expanded.
For a
still got
Haunt
the bounty
being
runes.
used, that is not really a whole lot for Boom. Let's
Yeah.
be real here.
And they had to move back to their side of the map too. So Raven, he's just happy to
Cool.
camp himself
Carl,
up here.
caught by the shards at mid. Can they find the turnaround? He gets the Poison Nova onto everybody. Zephyr looking for the slight chain. Sees some damage, but they've got the Omninet ultimate popped. Still ticking down pretty quickly. Zephyr with the 3-man stun. Makoto is deniable. Can they go for it? Won't quite grab it. So 1 for 1 thus far. Raven coming in for the cleanup. Pops the Tusk instantly. And now FBZ just getting slowed down by the boars. And will slowly be worked into his grave. Going on Venomancer is just always... It's always such a bait. it really never feels like it works out for you.
Yeah, I mean, Carl could end this game with, what, like 15 deaths?
Yeah.
And they could very easily still win, just because of the way that the hero functions. You know, you get off that Nova. It was only a level 1 Poison Nova too. That's probably one of the spells that has a big amplification between 1 and 2. Nothing like a, you know, a Conquer or something along those lines.
Yeah. Yeah, and GeekFam just take this as an opportunity to head straight into the Roshan pit. Morphling doing decent damage. Hyde wants to come over and try and contest, but it does seem like it's just going to be all GeekFam all day. Zephyr's here. Show me the Meteor Hammer combos. Let's go. It's not actually that easy, especially if you're only sliding on one hero. You have a very narrow window to... and especially because typically with the slight, you're not going to be clicking directly on top of them. So you kind of have to like slight and then move your hand, or you move your cursor to get the Meteor Hammer off. But, so we'll see. He's just using it to clear waves for now.
Oh, that clumsy net'll help though.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty handy. We do have another Haunt in 15 seconds, and the Spectre is still the #1 net worth in the game currently. So just a little bit of a worry for GeekFam, but...
This is the thing too with Carl, he's just got an Essence Ring, so he's going to be able to survive that couple of extra seconds longer. He's got his level 12, so that Poison Nova's leveled up too, and he's building into the 4-star. So right now the name of the game is just survive, survive, survive.
Zephyr just with another Meteor Hammer, continuing to clear, buy some more space. We'll just have to see what this Omni Knight ends up being able to accomplish in fights. It does feel like it could be... Well, it could be similar to the previous game where a lot of it is all just hinging on the Spectre, and whether or not GeekFam are able to do anything about this Spec just exploding on net worth. This is a weird one, Danog. I'm watching Ember Channel Meteor Hammer constantly at top.
Value.
They can't push into him. It is tricky. He can just keep a Remnant out, and you know this is kind of like the old Battle Fury Ember, and he's just clearing every wave and not letting them ever get to the tower. Really, FBZ trying to do the same at bottom. TP's coming in from Hyde and Kezcute, but won't really find anything.
Who needs a Treant Protector when you can just use an Ember Spirit instead?
Ah, yep, exactly. Another Remnant out. And the story continues. Dreamer Cell just working on the Manta. Ooh, we got the shotgun on Raven.
Dire are scanning.
They know he's around here on the Spectre. He needs to be incredibly careful. They're trying for the wrap around the backside.
The Hawk, I think they spotted him for a second. Looking for the roar. Cuckoo lifts his hands. Kezcute gonna put his life on the line. And here comes the Haunt. They're looking for a little bit of a turnaround. Alright, Cuckoo is gonna get the roar out. Dreamer Cell getting controlled somewhat as Whitemon just gonna go for the TP. He does succeed. And again, you know, not what GeekFam were hoping for there. They just wanted an instant kill with the shotgun, but also a Haunt used, and again, only losing the Beastmaster. So
I think he roared an illusion, unfortunately. So that's never a good thing. And as well, I know they were on a little bit of a timer. He could sense something was up, and you had the Witch Doctor rotating through for the defensive play. But there was 4 seconds left until daytime, and I think the Fog of War ended up saving Dreamer Cell there.
Yeah, he was like... He lifted his hands, got into the fog, and then Witch Doctor just kind of tanked the gank from there.
He didn't even die on the Witch Doc, right?
Nope. Nope, just able to find the turnaround. What else is going on? Who's got items? Alright, Makoto's got a Diffusal Blade picked up, so he's still looking alright on the net worth. Morphling with another minute and 20 seconds remaining on this Aegis. You know Raven really wants to just get some kind of a kill with this this E-Blade going, but hasn't been able to. Still slightly behind the Spectre in terms of farm. Continues to just accelerate. Holding on to the broom handle currently. Have we not had any better options? Actually, there's this Nether Shawl. Why is nobody interested in Nether Shawl?
I mean, if it was me, I would give the broom over to the Monkey King, right? Just for that incredibly extra range, and then just give the Vamp Brace to the Spec, right?
Yeah, that makes sense to me, for sure.
But looks like GeekFam, they're happy to just use the remainder of this Aegis. 40 seconds left to get the tier 2 tower. That's going to open up the jungle for Raven to continue farming up the remainder of his Skadi, and just continue this greedy style of play.
Jump forward from Makoto, but Zephyr able to get that Remnant out in time and jump away. Dreamcell pressuring top, but doesn't have the Haunt to join the team currently, so just relying on the information that all of GeekFam are over on the Radiant side of the map, and just pressuring there. And boom, just kind of farm stations. Is this just going to be another one of these games where same as game 1, just farm, one big climactic team fight, and that's the end of it?
I mean, I suppose so. It could be one of those instances where the neutral items start to come into play. Tier 3 are coming up, and that's where some of the more game-breaking things become available for either side, to be honest. Like, can you imagine even just something like a Quickening Charm could be really impactful for both of these teams?
Alright, they've got another Haunt, so Boomer smoked up looking for something, but Whitemon with an Invis is just going to break this. Do they have any way to deal with it? Okay, Cuckoo's disconnected, so Whitemon able to report back to his team that he's just spotted Kazcute over here.
Yeah, he's got the vision. They cannot see him, though. No detection just yet. And we're seeing some Glimmer Capes on both of the hard supports, so trending back to a lot more traditional. Man, they've nearly got the identical items queued up, or at least acquired. Urn of Shadows on our Witch Doctor, though.
Yeah, not opting for the full Tranquils or anything. Morphling still going Skadi, but gonna take a little while for him to get there. Venomancer, just a Vessel and a Force Staff. It is kind of this is the style of mid, or like the style of core that I think you need to have if you're gonna have a Morphling. Definitely somebody that can make a little bit more space. You know, you can obviously have like more of a ganking hero than the Venomancer, but there's only so much farm on the map, and the Morphling is soaking up a lot of it. So.
Yeah. Now, you would think that what GeekFam are playing for is level 15, nearly acquired by the Veno. It's pretty damn impactful having that Poison Sting or the Gale impact wards for your teamfight potential, and of course the Glimmer Cape. I think they've basically got the Force Staff acquired as well by Zephyr, so it's just about kiting out, and it's one of those rare instances where you actually don't mind an extended teamfight happening against a Spectre with a Radiance, right? Like, you've got plenty of potential to have reinitiations, and yeah, we'll see how they play it.
Yeah, their extended team fight is certainly good as well. Oh, Whitemon again, scouting out here. Oh, here we go, Soulbind, double shotgun, big damage. Nobody dead just yet, though. The Omni Knight's pretty tanky. Do get an immediate buyback. They're looking for the turnaround onto Raven, and with the waveform already used, needs to get the cooldown back up in a second. They're going to Force Staff him forward. He gets the waveform out, and boom, just left empty-handed. They're going to look for a little more, but we've seen what happens when you chase into Venomancer, especially up a hill. So they're just going to let them go. They will get the outpost capture.
I mean, value for Geek, right? They have Haunt expended, buyback expended on Hyde, all for what? E-Blade, and I suppose the Morph cooldown was used in the Soulbind, but much lower downtime.
And Cuckoo even, kind of looking for a little more. He's got the pipe picked up. Zephyr.
Haste Rune as well on this bottom river.
Zephyr's just been off farming with his Meteor Hammer this whole time, right? Getting gone on, jumps back to the Remnant, just trying to force him around.
Why not? He's not even been super greedy with his wards. The Meteor Hammer's able to do a lot of the damage. You don't need to expend them to just burst down waves.
Yeah.
The fact that he was able to pick it up this early means that he's almost level with the position 3 on Boom's side in terms of his net worth. And you've got the tower taking potential as well.
Yeah, and these bulk Force Staffs combined with the lack of real lockdown on the side of Boom just feels like, is the Monkey King ulti ever gonna do anything this game? Like,
I could definitely see the play where they just chain use it on him, right, and just push
Yeah.
him out of his own.
Yeah, even that could be problematic. And as much as I have to give credit to Makoto, and I have to admit that I was a little wrong about how that mid lane was gonna go, but still the Monkey King's overall impact since hasn't been too crazy.
Back.
Yeah, Hyde's just dead. See you, buddy. Die back.
They're like, we're at tier 1 time.
Yeah,
Radiant's top tower
just
is
backdoor
under
it.
attack.
no problem. Very quick. Raven
Roche
wants all the
potential
farm first.
respawn
Radiant's
happening right now. Still pretty
a
lengthy
long
though,
one.
2.5
tower
minutes.
is under attack.
Just planting some bananas here is Carl.
Radiant's top
Yep.
tower
Oh, they do get a nice boundless strike onto 2. Carl's tanking up. They do get the soul bind out, looking for the turnaround. Raven comes in with the combination. FBZ gonna try and keep them alive. Dream of Cell going in deep, but they've already lost the 2 supports. So absolutely zero catch at this point for Boom. Just gonna have to try and walk it off as this dominated Centaur locking down FBZ. Raven going in looking for a little bit more. The auto attacks fly. Omni Knight dead, and Raven with the mega kill streak. Not a scratch on anyone on the side of GeekFam.
Yeah, I mean, who's initiating on who, right? You had a 4v5 situation. Granted, it was on your high ground. You had a little bit of vision, but when you've got a fresh Aegis just picked up by GeekFam, I don't know if that's the fight to take.
Radiant's
Again,
still
Danog,
going.
what is this Omni Knight pick doing?
Radiant's middle tower
I
is
don't
under attack.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Do you want to quickly pop up my prediction again on the
Right.
on the
Yeah,
screen?
we'll flash that on the screen for everybody at home. But yeah, GeekFam just going high ground now. Well, is that our one climactic team fight. Raven's still just holding his ground. Soulbind coming back up in 5 seconds. Boom, can't even really chase out. Hyde's going for a blink now, I think, realizing how desperate their situation is in terms of just not being able to get a jump onto anybody. But even then, like, you're still going to have Force Staff issues.
Radiant are scanning.
This quickening charm's going to be so handy as well for GeekFam.
Oh, FBZ running forward, wanting to claim a little bit more control over their hill, but this is what GeekFam had to say about that. Double roar coming through. FBZ able to keep on running. Hyde's just spinning in place as he now gets Meteor Hammer comboed by Zephyr. Raven jumping forward, looking for a little more. The tip's coming out, and triple kill for Raven. As Boom, all they can do is just try and grab a little more farm. Dream of Cell now being overtaken as the #1 net worth spot.
They ping out the mid lane and make sure they push it in. No glyph left, so
Oh,
this should
God.
be one lane of racks.
Alright, Makoto can just TP.
Radiant's middle barracks are under
He's
attack.
taking a lot of damage in the fountain, though. Alright,
Radiant's
well,
middle barracks has fallen.
mid-rack's gone.
They can even go bot if they wanted to. Roche is going to be up in a couple of seconds though, and they've got the courier there, so Beastmaster's going to spot it out.
Yeah,
Perfect timing.
I think they want to grab their tier 3s as well. And yeah, the Roshan
Radiant's top
available.
tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
perfectly fine. Raven actually had morphed into the Omni Knight as well, so just having that passive, or not passive, but the
Yeah.
status resist that comes from one of your abilities as opposed to having to itemize for it is such an advantage. And, well, even now, he's got the Sanjin Yasha, so if you're able to grab that one up, good luck getting chain CC'd as this Morphling.
Yeah, he's also very, very tanky. I mean, I think he's morphed all the way currently, and he's still got 1700 HP, so...
Dire are scanning.
Zephyr is still just doing his job, holding out the waves. Boom. Absolutely know that they cannot give away this Roshan. They've got a Haunt at the ready. Do they have a Blink on the Tusk? They do not. Roshan almost dead. Dream of Cell checking it out. Needs to go in there. Cheese has already been picked up along with the Aegis. Hyde on the front lines. Already just slowed down to a crawl. They're going to drop the Poison Nova just for him. Dream of Cell jumping in. Does manage to find the 1 kill at the very least. Carl on the back foot a little bit. Still getting auto attack down by these illusions. Will be finished off. So 2 dead thus far. Raven getting kited around somewhat. Has lost a lot of his mana. Trying to help out his Ember, perhaps. No, he's actually just going to go straight in. Double kill immediately. Here comes the slows onto FBZ. Dreamacell doing the best that he can. Cuckoo just going to keep on running forward. Dreamacell just nowhere to go. Too many slows, too much damage. Ultra kill for the Morphling. Zephyr is still being chased by Makoto. But he found himself a haste, and now he's out of there, so... 2 for 4. Morphling completely cleans up the entire team fight all by himself. And,
No glyph, no tier 2s. This is another lane of racks minimum.
Well, looking like it could be a pretty quick grand finals here, Danog. GeekFam putting on a show, putting on a clinic.
You never know. Never know. It's 5 series for a reason. I think Boom just need to clean up their draft a little bit. The Omni Knight was not it, and a little bit questionable to even just pick the Spectre into the previous lineup that they had.
Radiant's top barracks has
Yeah.
fallen.
Yeah, the Doom and the Omni Knight picks, I feel like, have just not worked out the way that they were hoping. And you mentioned, in the draft, they've been putting a lot of pressure on FBZ's hero pool, but maybe they just need to grab something comfortable for him earlier on.
Yeah, I think it's not even just like the heroes that they pick, it's when they pick it, right? Like, it feels like when they've won, it's been on the back of Dreamer Cell, it's been on the back of Makoto, but not FBZ. He's not playing a game-winning hero, and he hasn't won games for them in the past.
Soulbind comes out. Oh, they cut down the Monkey King from his perch as well. The follow-up stun is also coming with the Satyr. He does manage to get the BKB off, but they've got a Roar waiting for just the occasion. Double kill already for Raven. He's looking for Kescute. The Glimmer Cape is still cooling down, so make it a triple. He's diving FBZ towards the fountain. Zephyr's jumping away from the Spectre. Dreamcell has now been latched onto, though. Hyde gets finished off, and the GG gets called. GeekFam taking game number 2.
Yeah, convincing style once again, and well, despite how that laning stage went, I think Makoto did the absolute best that he could out of that situation. Fantastic way to start the game, getting a couple of early kills onto Carl there, winning out the last hit battle, which you probably would expect in an ideal scenario at the very beginning, first couple of levels, but yeah, beyond that, there just wasn't enough that he could do, right?
Yeah, like I think he ran around the map a little bit looking for plays to make, and then a couple of times they saw Carl on this Venomancer mid, and they were like, hey, we can kill that guy. And they could kill that guy. And then all 3 of their guys died for killing him. So it was bad trades after bad trades. It didn't ever feel like the Omni Knight popping his cooldowns mattered, right? Like they would pop everything on the Omni, and then everyone is still running at like 100 move speed because everyone's being slowed down by the Venomancer or the Boars or whatever. And it never amounted to a meaningful turnaround. And even if it was going to amount to a meaningful turnaround, GeekFam just walked away. They just force staffed away, or they waveformed away. They were never pressured or forced into making tough decisions in these fights because the cores could just always escape.
Yeah, I mean, no real movement impacting things with this Omni Knight, no real crowd control. It was just fully into enabling the Spectre to do work. But against a Venomancer, you don't really mind if the team fight goes on for that little bit longer. So, yeah, GeekFam are, again, with the outdraft, the out execution beyond the first 5, maybe 10 minutes of the game, and well, 1 game away from claiming first prize in the BTS Season 2 of the Southeast Asian region.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. Join us back here after the break.